Hey fam, Ahliyah here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video where I will be showing you guys how I edit my Instagram photos or just my photos in general. More specifically my selfies, because you know I'm a selfie queen, honey. I did not film this look, but I did do this look in particular and took pics of this look so I can show you guys how I would edit this look and how I edit my selfies in general. I don't really over edit. I'm not really an over editor, but I do like to really, okay, I may go ham with the vibrancy. I really like to increase the saturation of the colors in my photos. Okay, so I kind of go a little overboard with that because I just like really vibrant photos and I like very colorful looks, and it just looks good on my Instagram. So you know, if you don't follow me on Instagram, honey, Ahliyah Michelle, y'all know the drill, go follow. Word on the street, okay, the girls, the little birdies have been telling me that my editing looks really seamless. Like, you guys think I just snapped a photo and posted it to the gram. Like, some people be telling me they can't tell that I edited it, but sometimes I think y'all be lying because I really be boosting the hell out of the saturation in my photos. But you know, to know that my editing is seamless, okay, that makes me feel a little good, because I used to go really overboard with my editing. Like, I would just detail the highlight on my nose just for no reason. Like, why was it that intense? And I just think editing really gives a picture some okay, like when you scrolling on a gram and you pass by my photo, I want you to stop, I want you to scroll back, I want you to double tap it, I want you to leave a comment. I want it to be striking to the eye. So without further congé, if you are interested in tuning into seeing how I edit my photos, the apps that I use, my technique, my thought process, okay, my skill, then subscribe to my channel. If you are not already subscribed, tap that bell to be notified of my future uploads. And when you tap that bell, an option will pop up. Click on options and ensure all notifications are enabled, including my creator posts. And stay tuned, keep on watching, and I hope you enjoy this video. Woo! I say calor. Let me turn on my screen recordings right now. Okay, let me just show you guys my apps. Well, actually the photos that I took today. I like to take pictures on my iPhone XS Max. I really feel like this phone, like the front camera, it takes really good pictures outside. Like inside, I really get that weird blur effect that it puts on your face on the front cam. But outside, I get really good like crispiness. Like, I feel like this camera is so crisp. It's so nice. Like, it's so HD. So I like to take pictures in my backyard. These are all the pics that I take. I literally take like 100 photos. I like to have options when I take my photos. Like, I take it at different angles. I really like to make sure we're seeing the eyeshadow. You know, I don't want to just, you know, we have to pose, okay? We have to look good. You know, we have to have options because I like to be able to choose the best photo out of the 100, okay? Like Instagram, we take this very serious. I kind of just like to go through it and, you know, what pose do I want? Like, what pose would look good on the gram? As you can see, I look pretty unclockable with no edits, okay? Don't come for me. Don't at me. I look pretty unclockable. As you can see, the iPhone XS Max front cam is very crisp outside. I take pictures in my backyard. I just, when it's like not quite golden hour yet, but like close to golden hour, that's like my favorite time to take pics. You know, here's me being extra. I just take very different poses. Sometimes I take some boomerangs, and I just like to go through and I'll favorite the ones that I like, and then I'll go through the favorites and figure out which one is the one for the gram. Sometimes I edit like 4 or 5 photos and then just do process of elimination. Like, I like to see which edited one looks the best, but we're not going to edit 5 photos in this video. We're just going to edit one, okay? Okay, so I kind of like this photo because it's really like showing my lower lash line detail. If you can't tell, I have on blue mascara on my lower lash line, but you know, you can't really tell. So I want you to be able to see it in the photo. So I'm going to favorite this photo right here. And then I also kind of like this photo because it's showing both my top shadow and my lower lash line. We're gonna favorite that one. And this one, like, give it to me. This one is really cute too. I'm gonna favorite that one, favorite that one. So I have a whole folder in my phone called photo, video. So video editing and photo editing. So like, I edit like Instagram story videos on here. I don't edit Instagram videos on my phone. I edit that on Adobe Premiere Pro on my computer, but I just have a lot of apps that I like to play with. So there's a lot of apps that I like to use. I have like 3 sections, but I only really use a few apps. So for my actual Instagram photos, I really like to use Facetune. I like to use Afterlight. If you see people with the dust filter on their photos, listen, sometimes some of them need to turn that dust filter like all the way down. Like, why is the dust filter so intense on your makeup photo? But like, if you ever want the dust filter, that's Afterlight. I use VSCO Cam. Do I still have a photo on here? Okay, I like to use Facetune. This is a photo that I already, edited. I edited this one through multiple apps. Anyways, that's besides the point. I like Facetune. I like VSCO Cam. I have a lot of photos in VSCO Cam because they have really good filters. You have to pay for it, but if you pay for it, they got really good filters. And I like to use Lightroom. I have a lot of photos in Lightroom. This is how I like to increase the saturation of my photos in Lightroom. And that's really all I use for Instagram photos. So let's get into it. Let me show you how I edit. Let me sip this wine. So the first app I use is Facetune. I love Facetune. We're gonna open our photo. We're gonna go to favorites, and I'm just gonna choose one. Let's choose this one. This one's kind of cute. We'll just choose this one. I don't know. When I first go into editing, I don't know if this one is the one I'm going to post to Instagram. Okay, I edit like 4 photos, but we're gonna start with it. Actually, do I want to start with this one? No, let me go back. Open photo, go to my favorites. Let's do this one. Okay, I like this one. We're gonna edit this photo right here. First thing I like to do is go to the smooth. I only keep it on the first raindrop of smooth. If you do double smooth, it looks entirely too fake. Stay off the double smooth unless you're clocking your lace, okay? Okay, I admit I use the double smooth when I'm about to clock my lace. But don't use the double smooth on your skin. It just looks too fake. And I zoom in. As you can see, I do have flaws, okay? But honestly, I do look pretty unclockable. Okay, I really like to go in and I just tap it. Like, I just tap it with my finger. Don't rub because it just makes it look too fake. I like to tap around my mouth because I don't know, my peach fuzz, man, it just be poking through. Sometimes I forget to shave off my peach fuzz. So I just tap around my mouth first. As you can see, I have a little booger in my nose. I like to take that out. I just like to really zoom in on my nose. If you really just zoom in and just smooth that shit out, when you zoom out, actually you can really see it. Actually, you really can't see it. Okay, cool. Sometimes I'll just take the eraser tool if I do too much smoothing and I'll just tap it. Kind of went overboard on my nose showing you. And I always zoom out to make sure it looks good. I'll go back to smooth and I just like to tap around my mouth. That's really the only place I really like to smooth is around my mouth and my nose. So I'll go around my nose and just tap, 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 tap. Just very lightly, like you just want to tap. Like if you see my forehead, I like to keep that texture. If you see my cheek right here, I like to keep that texture. I don't really mind it. You see here, just keep the texture. I don't mind it. The only thing I really hate is my peach fuzz poking out. Like that bothers me. Like I just don't want that to be clocked. And then if you see this double square in the corner, you just press it and you can kind of see what you've done. I just press it. I see if I over smooth with this one. Like it's just a before after. It looks pretty good to me. So we're good on the smooth, okay? Then when you zoom in on my chin, we just have a little bit of bumpage going on, just a little bit. So I'm gonna go into the patch tool and I'm going to press one of these bumps and I just find a smooth spot on my chin to replace it. Boom, it took the bump away, okay? This is like an alternative to overdoing it on the smooth filter. Like if you want a bump to get rid of, I just use the patch tool in Facetune. Boom, it's smooth. Boom, the bump is gone. And it looks just more natural, okay? It doesn't look like you overdid it with the editing when you use the patch tool. We're going to press this double square edge. There's the bumps. Boom, they're gone. Okay, we can really do it on my cheek too. Like, let's go on my cheek. We're zoomed in on my cheek. There's a bump right there. We're just gonna replace it. Ooh, a bump right there. We're gonna replace it. And then it just looks natural, okay? We don't wanna really overdo it with the smoothing. Moving on. Next, I like to just go into the detail tool. And this is how you make glitter look good. You make your highlight look good. But again, you don't wanna go overboard. So I just like to gently, detail my cupid's bow. And again, you wanna tap. Just tap. Don't rub, okay? Don't rub. My nose, highlight is already doing its thing. So I'm just gonna tap over it just to increase it a little little bit, tap over that to increase it. And on my forehead, I just want to tap it just to increase it just a tad. But when I get to my eyeshadow, that's when I kind of like to rub, okay? So we're gonna go onto my lower lash line where the purple is, and I'm just going to slightly rub it, like I'm just doing like strokes. Like I'm not rubbing, I'm just doing like strokes, okay? Just to bring out this holographicness on my under eye, because in person it looks popping, but sometimes on camera it just doesn't pick up as well, so you just want it to pop in the photo. And then I have gold glitter liner in my crease, and I'm just going to just stroke it so it just pops a little bit more in the photo. And I just like how you can really zoom into your picture in Facetune. Before, after, before, after. It's subtle difference, but it makes the difference in the end result of your photo. And then I have on some orange shimmer shadow. We're just going to tap over that in the detail. Just tap it. Now we're going to move on to the next eye, and we're just going to detail the shimmerness of our eyeshadow. Also, I forgot my brow bone. Sometimes that don't be hidden in the photo, so I just like to tap over that as well in the detail, and it kind of pushes my brow bone highlight forward a little bit. And then I like to zoom out, see how we doing, make sure we're not over zooming it. We're done with the detailing. Oh, I'm just kidding. Wait, let's go back to detail. I do like to detail my earrings. As you can see, my earring got a little bit lost, so I just like to rub it over my earring. The earring pops out, and I think we're done with the detail. Now I just like to go into the whitening tab, and my eyes aren't really open in this photo, but I do just like to whiten the whites of my eyes. I mean, they're not really showing in this photo, but I'll just rub it over my eyes, and if my teeth are showing, I'll just rub it over my teeth so they just look a little bit whiter. But again, don't go overboard, because you don't want unrealistically white eyes or unrealistically white teeth, okay? Now we're gonna go into the tones tool. I like the tones tool. Sometimes I bring my bronzer down too far, so I just use the tones tool to clean it up. In this photo, that's not the case. And I also like to use the tones tool to make my eyes look shiny. I know this is very technical, like I'm just very technical when it comes to editing. So I go into the tones tool, the default, color that the tones tool falls on. That's the one I like to use on my eyes, so you can see it's like a peachy shade. So I just zoom in, I just tap it on my eyes. It just makes I feel like this color, this default color, just makes my eyes look a little bit more shinier. Like I like that shine. Like when I film, I use a reflector, and when I place it under me, it just brings some shine back into my eyes. That doesn't really translate in photo, so I like to bring that into photo. And I don't really do it dramatically. And I just tap it over my eyes. I don't want to change my eye color. I like my brown eyes. I think they're popping. I think they're beautiful. I just like to add that shininess to my eyes. So I'm not trying to change my eye color at all. I like my brown eyes, okay? Because my eyes are a little bit closed, and so like my lashes are kind of shadowing my eyes. I just want to bring some shine back to there. Okay, now one more detailing. I forgot to detail my lip gloss. So I have on some lip gloss here on my lips. I just want to bring it over. Oops, ooh, that was too much. Erase that. Just want to bring it over the shine in my lips. And that is all we're doing in Facetune. So we're going to save the photo, save to camera roll. She's saved, and now we're going to move on to Lightroom. This is where the magic happens, okay? The real magic is in Lightroom. I think Lightroom is free, so if you have Lightroom, I mean, if you have an iPhone, just download Lightroom. I think it's free. I'm not sure. Actually, I think it's free, because before I bought Lightroom, I was using Lightroom on iPhone. All right, so we're in Lightroom. The photo that I just saved will be like the first photo in the camera rollage. Okay, so we're gonna press that, press the check mark. Yes. Oh wait, where are my photos at? Okay, boom. First thing I like to do is go into color, and I like to go to mix, and I like to individually increase the saturation of the colors that they allow. This is my favorite part of editing, is just increasing the color. So I just start with the reds, and I only adjust the saturation. I don't adjust the hue, and I don't adjust the luminance, because when you take makeup photos, you don't want to make the colors deceiving. Like, you don't want to change the hue of something. Like if I'm wearing a red lipstick and I change the hue of the red lipstick, then if someone were to buy the red lipstick that I was wearing and then they find out it wasn't that color, then that's low-key deceiving. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can change the hue. I'll show you what I mean. Let's go to green, since green is like prominent color in this photo. If I change the hue of green, it can change it to navy green, or what do you call it? Army green, or it can change it to this blue green, but that would be deceiving because that's not the real green. So I don't mess with hue and luminance. I don't really mess with luminance. I don't know. I only mess with the saturation of the color. But let's start with red. I have red in my lips, so if I increase the red, it'll kind of increase it in my lips. And as you can see, it's increasing it on my lower lash line, but I don't want the red to look crazy. So I kind of keep it between 30 and 50. No, I'm lying, 15 and 50. Like that's where I go. 15 is like the lowest, and then 50. So let's look at red, because I don't want the red to look too crazy. I think I'm gonna keep the red at 25. Boom, 25. Now let's move on to orange. I like my skin to look a little bit more tan in these photos, so I like to increase orange. But I like how in Lightroom, when you increase the saturation of the photos, when you increase the saturation of individual colors, it doesn't look like unrealistic. Like when I increase orange, it doesn't look crazy. You know, kind of looks like it's increasing the natural orange that's in my skin. Fun fact, if you want to know your undertone, just play with this individual saturation increase and you can just, why am I talking like this? And you can find out what your undertone is. Let's keep the orange at 25. I think that's good. Sometimes yellow changes my skin and sometimes it doesn't, but it'll like change the green. But as you can see, it's like increasing like the yellow of my house, and that's ugly. Like yellow in the background is so ugly. So I think I'm gonna take that yellow not all the way down, but I'm gonna take it like -15, because I don't want the yellow in the back. The yellow in the back is low-key ugly. I don't like it. Now the green, I'm gonna hike it all the way up, because that's like a very prominent color in this photo. Like my green plants, my green head wrap, I got green eyeshadow, I got green in my shirt. We want that hiked all the way up. Okay, now blue will kind of change the sky. There's only a little bit of sky in this photo, and it'll change my shirt. I like to hike that all the way up. I'm gonna hike this blue all the way up. And then purple will most likely change my lower lash line. We don't want to hike that all the way up because it'll make your lower lash line look crazy, okay? So I'm gonna keep that purple at like a 40. And then we have pink. Pink might change my lower lash line too. It does. So we're gonna keep that at like 40. This is what we got. And you can just press it before, dull, after, vibrant. And then we're not done. Now I like to go into lights, okay? You can adjust the contrast, the exposure, the highlights, the shadows, the blacks, the whites, okay? I don't mess with exposure and I don't mess with contrast because I don't know, just makes the photo look a little ugly. I like highlights though. I'm gonna start off with highlights. Sometimes I increase it, sometimes I decrease it. I kind of just play with it different days. I think I like -15 for highlights because it kind of makes your actual highlight on your face pop more when you lower the highlight. Okay, you get it? Shadows. This kind of brings out shadows. It kind of lifts the blacks a little bit. I kind of like to play with it. You don't want to bring shadow up too far because it looks a little crazy. I'm going to keep shadow at +25. And this is just me playing with it. Every photo is different when I'm in different lighting, okay? Now we're going to go with whites. Whites is kind of similar to highlights, but different at the same time, okay? I kind of like it lowered a little bit. So I'm going to keep whites at -25 and just play with it. Do what you want to do. Sometimes I lower blacks, sometimes I increase blacks. Sometimes I lower whites, sometimes I increase whites. Blacks, see, it just makes the photo look crazy. When you lift it, it just makes it look more luminous. I'm gonna keep blacks at +25. I never want to go crazy on it. And this is our photo. Before, boom, after, vibrant. Okay, so this photo is good. Boom, we're gonna save it to our phone. Max available. The last app I'll use is VSCO Cam because I really like their filters. Like, they're so good. We're gonna import it. We're gonna go to the second tab with like the adjustables. And for makeup photos, look, they have like tons of filters. Like, oh my gosh, you can scroll through these filters for days, okay? But my favorite filter for like my face pics is the V section. The V section just looks so good, and I just play with them. I really like V3. V3 is my favorite because it just adds more vibrance, but I don't keep it like cranked all the way up. Don't keep it cranked all the way up. I'll bring it down to like maybe like 3.5, and it just adds even more luminosity to the pic. Like if you press the before, after, it just adds a little bit more luminous. It just looks so good. So this is like the last step for my makeup photos. So we're gonna press the check OK next. And I like it. I don't need to post it to VSCO, and we're just gonna save it. So we use 3 apps, and all these apps keep the quality of my photos, so I don't really have to worry about my photos losing quality. And after this, it's time to post to the gram. Post on Instagram. I always have my makeup details already ready to go. I like to expand the photo, you know, adjust it a little bit. And this is like, this would be a pic I would post to Instagram, and those are all the steps that I take. It looks vibrant. I know it'll look good on my feed because my feed is pretty colorful, it's pretty vibrant. And I guess this is an important step. So when I post makeup photos, I also like to post the details of my makeup. Literally everything I use, from brows to my damn lip liner. And I do that in my notes. So I'll go to notes and I just have literally everything listed. I have the hashtag that I want to use. I have the lines to separate everything. And yeah, I just always keep this in my notes so I don't have to always retype my whole entire caption. Like, who has the time for that? Anyway, so I hope you guys enjoy tuning into how I edit my Instagram photos, my selfies, what apps I use, the order in which I use the apps, and my creative process behind editing my photos. I will list all of the apps that I did use down below, and if you use any special photo editing apps that I did not mention, comment it down below, girl. Okay, let's introduce each other to some new things. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give this video a thumbs up. And if you are new here and this is the first time being on my channel and seeing my face, I would love to see you in the next one. Subscribe to my channel and join me and the honeys, honey. I love you guys so much. And until next time, always remember to serve, honey. And I will see you in my next upload. Bye.